Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Magma Classroom. We have an exciting new streamer joining us, Anya Robbins. Anya Robbins is one of our new Magma ambassadors in our efforts to just produce more content and more variety. Anya has been a moderator in the Lightbox Discord server, a huge contributor to events over there. And we're so excited to have you, Anya. And how are you?
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you, Solomon. I'm doing great. I've had a wonderful day. I've been warming up and whatnot, and I'm really excited to get into the still life. It's going to be a super good time.
This is something
Okay.
that you spend a lot of time on, in terms of just digital painting. Would you say that that's kind of your, like, how did you, maybe to quickly kind of get into it so we can introduce you a bit? How did you get started in art and, like, what's your focus?
So, in terms of art, I think it was very immediately apparent when I was growing up that when I drew or, colored, I always entered this like different dimension almost. Like I was enamored with it. I loved creating things, like making things was my jam. Like typical toys for me were like Legos and stuff. So um it permeates everything in your life. You just become a creator of things as you grow older. And so I think during COVID when I found out about digital art, because I was super late to the game. I showed up super late and found out about it. And for me, it was kind of love at first sight. I was I had my newborn at that time as well, so I was dealing with that while learning the software. And so one of the big things for me was there was no mess. Like it was
Mm.
wonderful that I could like put down my pen and run away and deal with crying baby and then come back and the paint wasn't dry and I couldn't blend it, or I didn't have a mess all over my hands that I had to clean before getting to the baby. So for me it was like, this is amazing. Why haven't I gotten into this sooner? Um,
I
so like
I
I
see you have
fell
your
in love.
I see you have your materials in the back, and so you're still
Yeah,
keeping up with
okay.
traditionals.
I just got back into traditional actually. So one of the reasons I really love digital was because, like I said, it doesn't go dry, so to speak. You can continue to mess with it and blend it and whatnot. And as I continued to get better at digital art, one of the goals that I kept having, like subconsciously, was to make it look more traditional. And I was just in love with all these artists like Greg Rutkowski and Carlo Ortiz, and I was just looking at all of their art, and I really wanted it to look like that. So eventually I just bit the bullet and was like, "Hey, like let's do oils. Like let's actually go for it." And yeah, I've got a problem. I keep buying art materials.
It's kind of an addiction, right? At some point, you just feel like you need to have them just in case. You never know.
Yeah, I try to refrain from going crazy, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well, that's amazing. So maybe tell us a little bit about what you're going to get into today.
Yeah, so this is a still life. So for those who don't know, you're essentially just putting together some items and you're placing them in a composition, lighting it, and then either having that be next to you or taking the image and painting that. So we're painting from something that is life and trying to portray it accurately, but also maybe put your own twist in there in terms of either texture, color, or you can even change an element and put something imaginary in there.
That sounds amazing. Well, I've seen you paint, so I can only imagine how this one's going to pan out. I want to leave you the floor because it looks like you've already got some folks jumping in here doing stuff. So sounds like
Yeah.
it's time to get in there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
So I
and I
see.
will cue off some music here.
Cool. I'm already watching people in here. I'm admiring how people like this over here is coming along. Jeez. Like, this is some nice color too. I like that. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna go on in. I chose a purple canvas. Some of you may have seen on my social media, I tried a blue canvas, and I've really liked that. But I want to see how this one pans out. So I think one of the first things I want to do, and the first thing that I struggle with, is like getting all of the proportions exact. So I will actually spend quite a bit on this. It's going to be slow. I do intend to do this still life in 2 sittings, so we will be doing this for a while. You do not need to hurry. We can relax. But let me get into it. So I don't actually want to grab like black. I find that a bit boring. So I'm going to grab like a dark brownish red. So when you've got your reference right next to it, it's a little bit easier. So if you're doing this in life, what I've heard is you can actually, like, if you've got your photo and then you've got your canvas or whatever, you can actually like just tape it to the wall, tape your canvas next to it and do it, which tends to be interesting because it's the same, you're replicating the scenario, right? But so when I'm doing this, what I tend to think about is like I'm looking at the proportions of the image. So you've got, hold on, let me grab a layer over here. You've got like this measurement, and then the bottom of that jar is kind of here. So you could see that the image is not quite, but almost separated into thirds. So you can then come on over here and try to replicate that. Doesn't need to be perfect, but it's good to have that baseline in. The reason I went for like the biggest object is so that I can take that object and then measure everything else in the scene up against that object. So if I can nail that first piece of infrastructure, then I can build everything on top of it. So different people are more comfortable at different angles. So when I'm doing lines, I like doing the whole left to right thing. I'm much more comfortable like that. If you can draw a line like perfectly, from any angle, I applaud you, because that is quite the feat. But I tend to just what I can, or what seems familiar to me. So I have what seems to me to be around the size of it. I think it's a little bit bigger. But once you get like a general idea, then you can start to narrow down on the specifics. I know that this thing is kind of slanted this way, right? So I'm trying to keep that in mind. That is something that when I did the first rough sketch of this that went wrong, is this thing's actually over. So I'm trying my best to see if I can't get that lean. A lot of people will like flip their screen a lot. I'm one of those weirdos that rotates their screen a lot. I apologize if I'm giving anyone the spins. So from here, there's a few proportional things I can jot down. This tangerine and this flower are almost kind of the same height. To give you like an imagery, I can go, okay, so this flower is about this size. And then if I duplicate about that same size, I can get almost to the top. Oh, it's a shame it's not equal, I think. But that's about right. Okay, so one of the things that happened in my image right now is that I am doing what's called zooming in. But I'm making mine a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do here, take this image, reduce it a bit. Let me look around. How are we doing over here? Oh my goodness. Some people are so fast. Look at that. Look at how well that impression is already. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, take your time, guys. There's seriously zero rush. It's looking great though. My goodness. Yeah, don't be shy if anybody has any questions that they want to ask. You're more than welcome. So I'm putting little measurement markers. So we want to be able to like step back and be able to like almost see the same image when we step back. So comparing the size of everything is actually super important when you're starting. If you don't nail that, it's just gonna look wonky. I had a teacher once, he I always loved rendering. I love like painting so much. He'd be like, "You can't polish a turd. You polish a turd, Anya. Don't do it." I still to this day struggle with getting the drawing in perfectly. But We will try our best today. I see Ryan in the chat. Hello. How is the UK? One of the things I'm paying attention to are the overlaps. I want to show that these slices are in front. And the way that I do that, I look at, there's an area here. Let me grab some purple. There's an area here, right here, where it's like passing in front of this jar. And you'll notice the value there is quite similar, but there's that warmish white just traces that silhouette. So that's actually really important for me to pay attention to and make sure that when I'm sketching this in, that I have that there. So when I come to paint, it just goes right into place. Just constantly looking back, making sure my strokes are as close as they can be or as close as I can manage. Another game here is accuracy. The fun part comes later, but if I can do this part really well, the fun part will be even more fun. Hello, Frank. I can see you on my canvas. Hello, Andy. So I'm not sure I made that slice quite big enough. I'm just gonna erase that and start over because the distance underneath from the end of this slice to this one, it's larger than what I had, so I wanna... I'm also seeing that where this slice ends, it's like quite far, almost a little bit next to the middle. So I need to extend this one out. That's why it was so important for me to get that jar just right. So when I come in here, I can measure against the jar. Now I can measure negative space right here. I have a wonderful opportunity to measure negative space. Let me show. So I'm trying to get this tangerine in, right? So I'm trying to get this space correct so that I can get this space correct and get this little tangerine in. Bottom of this jar and against this other slice, there's this beautiful little negative space. If I can nail that on mine, I can figure out where the edge of this tangerine slice is. So I'm gonna try to go do that. So it's curved. And there is like a slight overlap on the jar. And then right at the tip of that triangle, pointed downwards, is where that front tangerine overlaps. That's how I get that in. Okay. See, not a big deal. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Ooh, many more have joined. I love that. Yay. That's looking awesome, guys. Like, seriously. So my little orange on the side here, or tangerine as one might call it, it's not big enough. And it's not, oh, hold on. Having layer issues, give me a moment. Oh, I see what's going on. I keep I keep wanting to point out things on the ref. And then I go to another layer. Yeah, I just want my entire sketch on one layer. Be extra and name it. Okay, so let me check chat here. We have a question. So Anya, did you sketch all your paintings first? Have you ever tried experimenting using big brushes to fill in solid shapes? Nice. So the answer is yes. You'll see that I like to start with just mapping out my shapes so that I understand the proportions of the image. And because that is where I struggle most, I will like to do that. If I start with the shapes, it can be good, but I often will falter. And I will be moving to shapes shortly. But yeah, that is a super good question. And starting in with a big brush is absolutely what I will be doing. Right, so let me just take this. Well, hello, Mountain Pirate. I just want to reduce the negative space in between that jar and that orange. I do want to make it a little bit bigger. It is great work. I keep zooming out and finding out that you guys are like so fast. My goodness. Okay. All right, we can get the big guns out now. So what I do is I turn my sketch layer to darken. That way, usually everything that I paint will be, the line layer will get darker, because I'll put in my block in underneath the sketch layer. However, with this image, you know, it's gonna be dark, but it usually works. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you on the painting part. So when I started to digitally paint, I started to observe that it wasn't like waving a magic wand and like, whoop, you know, you're rendered. It was really like, oh my goodness, I actually have to learn this program. I have to figure out like what I'm doing. And that was a really big wake-up call, you know? I was like, oh, you know, I actually still have to render like an artist would, you know? Yeah, I think what really gets to me is when I see those social media posts where like they will put the full rendered image on like some kind of mask layer, and then they'll just like wave their brush over the screen and it unmasks the fully made image. Like some people actually believe that that's what digital painting is. Like I've been asked things like that, and that just angers me. Like I can't handle that. Yeah, you're probably just doing really good fast studies. Like that's amazing. Like you came out of the canvas and immediately whipped that out. Like good for you. I would like if everyone wants to really take their time, I want people to like go for that like that really as photorealistic as possible like finish. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, I hear you. I do want to avoid AI conversations because I feel like that's a big, like, you know, anxious ball of yarn that is fully knotted and that I don't feel I have patience to run through right now. But I get it. I get like how that can be, it can be scary to learn this kind of software. With AI going around and all the fear that surrounds that. But yeah, just keep painting. In the end, we don't paint for anything else but the love of creation. So I see a Wild Vents has joined the board. Welcome. So I do take my time. So right now, I'm also doing the same thing that I was doing when I was using my lines. I'm essentially seeing this as a big shape that I have to get correct. And so really, to me, things like this, the inside of this jar here on the right side of the jar, or the middle area here where it's dark, I'm going to be going in there and doing that. So I'm mapping out my darks right now. That is what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of shapes, right? But I'm also thinking of leaving certain brush strokes on the canvas. So I'm being quite intentional with how I'm using the brush, because I don't necessarily have to make all this outside stuff finished. I'll talk more about that when we get to which areas I would render and which areas I would just kind of leave loose. There's actually like really good method to the madness when it comes to that. Anyway, what is my opinion about that? But for now, it's all about shapes. And so when I'm doing this, I'm actually like, this is gonna sound mystical. It's gonna sound so like guru stupid, and I promise you, I'm not that kind of person. But like, I look at it like there is no jar, there is no tangerine. It's just shapes. So like, you just look at it, and the goal is, okay, I have to do exactly what I see. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. I'm glad it was funny to someone. And, you know, it'll take a while. Painting's not supposed to be, like, done, you know? I think if I was to surmise my relationship with art, I would probably say the journey is far more important to me than the outcome. Like, I could noodle on this canvas for hours, put on some nice music, and just, do you guys ever, I do this where I listen to books, like audiobooks. Does anyone ever do that? I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys do when you're painting? Real art was the friends we made along the way. Yes, I love that. Ryan says, one of my teachers from art school used to try to drill that into us. I think that's what is being said here. We often try to draw or paint what we think we're looking at, not what is actually in front of us. Very true. Very true. That's a really good point. I want to go into that. So essentially, like, I'm looking at this and I have to see the shapes, right? If I start to look at this and I go, okay, I'm painting a jar and I'm painting a tangerine and I'm painting flowers, I will start to paint what my brain thinks that looks like. I see this a lot with portraiture. So I lead the Expressive Portraits study group. It's a class from Schoolism taught by Jonathan Hardesty, and essentially, like, the people that are in the study group with me and some of my friends, like, I've had conversations with them where I just kind of had, you know, they were asking for critique and I just kind of had to say, this is beautiful, but I can see what you think is beautiful. And then I had to kind of explain that. And what I mean by that is, and it's not bad if that's what you choose to do. It's just that if you're looking to get, like, the exact impression of the person, you have to just, there's this mode I get in where you look through what you're looking at into, like, it's not what it is anymore. It is only shapes. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Where it matters what it is when you get into textures, colors, and the story of what's going on. In my humble opinion. I could be wrong. Yeah. Nice. Same. It really depends. It really depends what mood you're in, what you're wanting to do, what type of painting you're painting, if you're painting it for a client, if you're painting it for yourself. Okay, some people are saying between artist interviews, music that doesn't have vocals. Yep, absolutely. Or sci-fi ambient stuff. Has anyone ever... when I want to get a painting done fast, I go full psytrance. Like, I know that's a crazy music genre. Don't try it if you've never tried it. It's crazy. It's the stuff they probably play at Burning Man or something. It's just like nuts. It will like you guys are gonna go do it now. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for what you're about to hear. Absolutely. So when you turn your reference upside down, or you flip your canvas, here we'll do it. You press H. You flip the canvas and we look. Okay, I'm seeing a few things I can improve on. Just gonna grab my eraser, just go on the side here of my jar because I think I cut into it too much. It's meant to be straight, not curved. All right. Mongolian folk metal. Oh my goodness. You guys are gonna, you know, pay back the favor and introduce me to a whole bunch of like niche music genres. Has anyone ever tried electro swing? It's super fun. Like, electro swing is awesome. It truly is like a one of a kind. It's the type of music, okay, you need 100 years of music just to make it, because they take 1920s music and pair it up with 2000s music, and they just bring it together, and it is so awesome. I can't hype it enough. I love this, like, whenever I'm mixing this brown reddish color that I have with where it's still opaque and the purple shows through, there's a transition color that just shines through there that I really kind of like. Let's color pick that and see what it is. It's a dark purple. Nice. I love that. Taking the time to observe the things that you love while you're painting can be some of the best things ever. There's so many things that I realized that I love simply by painting more slowly and observing what makes me happy while I'm painting. And a lot of people, they say, like, you know, find your style, whatever, but you can't do that if you don't, like, just take the time to sit with what you're doing. Okay, so I'm not seeing my ref properly. Here, let's flip that back. Oh, let's look around too. Let's see what you guys have been up to. What is happening? This is awesome, guys. I love what's going on. Like, this is so cool. Yes. Oh, you guys, this is awesome. Okay, let's keep on going on. Something about the size of mine is still not correct. I think I will fix that when I'm painting the lights in, or my midtones in. Well, what I'll do is I'll just like overpaint certain areas. I think it's just slightly off. But yeah, as long as I've got the major proportions down, I think I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna start on this lower section now. Oh, Telarium, I agree. Painting is so meditative. Like when you get in that rhythm, it's so good. You do want to like still remain somewhat it's like a dance. You want to make sure that you are feeling the rhythm, but you're observing your partner. You're making sure that your footsteps are in time with theirs and with the music, right? So it's not like you lose yourself completely. And what I mean by that is I'm still looking at my proportions right now. I'm still judging when I'm placing a stroke what I'm doing. If I stop doing that, I could create a stroke that undoes some of the hard work that I've been spending like all this time just doing this line. If I'm gonna spend a long time on that, I should probably, not undo it. So once the block-in is in, then we can have a lot of like textural fun. Render stuff. That's always my favorite part too. Oh, thank you. I made that up on the spot. I was trying to figure out what would be a good analogy. Because I've heard other people's analogy on it before, but I didn't really have my own one, so I guess I just made mine. Ooh, Ryan, yes. Okay. I'm gonna steal your prompt here. I want to know. So speaking of getting into the rhythm, anyone have any sort of rituals for when you sit down to paint? A specific tea flavor in your mug, light scented candle, any kind of warm up that you're like super into? I'm gonna wait for the responses, but I'm actually gonna answer that. So I don't really have anything like super specific that I do. I will say I'm a big fan of making sure that I am. This is very, very basic. I'm so basic. It's like I want to be like fed. I want to be fully rested. And I want that I ate well. I stretched, I had a walk. I slept. I'm clean. Like I want to feel good. So because I do art a lot of the day, I prioritize those things like you wouldn't believe. Because if I can't be at my full, like I can't give it my all. So that's kind of what I do. Yeah, a lot of people go for music and podcasts. I guess the question is meant more like what little things do you do? But for me, it's like more of an ongoing. Like I'm thinking more of like my entire week worth of art than my one sit down. I don't know how to. Yeah, I agree. You can get all of your adulting out of the way. I had a lot of dealing with finances today. I had a lot of dealing with like different subscriptions that I either canceled or upgraded or whatever. You know, all the adult things that we have, like if you get those done, they're out of the way. You don't have to think about it, you know. Just you ever get that nagging feeling like, oh, you have to do something but you don't want to, and then if you sit there and wait and you get more and more anxious, like just go do the thing. Like get that out of your system and then like come back and you're so happy. And for the rest of the day, you have the day free and you can just do art. So that's like my thing. That's so my thing. I think if there was a thing for like what changed you most last year, it's like that's what it is for me. It's like I started just to do the things. Black adult things. I get you. I know it's boring, but it has made the biggest impact on my life ever. Like, I can't even stress enough because I don't stress because I do the adult things. That was such a bad dad joke. Or in my case, mommy joke. I firmly apologize. I am right now kind of massaging back and forth where I think all these shadows should be. Just trying to find like a good shape. I'm paying attention to the edges too, like if they're like how fast they're transitioning into the darkness, and if I can't replicate that quickly-ish. Oh, have fun, Vince. Bye. Thanks for showing up. All right, let's look around. Wow. So cool. You guys, you're so fast. This is amazing. Okay, so I think I am ready to start putting in some orange. Let's do it. Okay. So I'm going up into my next layer. And I'm gonna call that just color. And then I'm going to call the layer prior just darks. So the easiest way for me to get this down is to think of what the mid value of everything is and what the kind of common color. So if you came over and you like color picked it and it was like you've raised the pixel sample selection size, if it was like, you know, the entire shape of that kind of object, what would it give you? It would probably give you some kind of mid-tone. So we can grab this color. And so I'm still thinking of my shapes, but instead of thinking of shadow shapes, now I'm just looking for the general impression of the silhouette that I'm trying to capture. Because we are going to clip onto this layer to make this jar. Now, I actually don't want to paint that orange up there. So that was a great example of like tunnel vision, because I was looking at this and I was filling up the side and then I went up too high. See, that orange does not go up that high. It stops around there. But being zoomed out like this was perfect, because if I was like here and I had continued, I would have been wrong, right? So. I love Prima. Maybe we'll do it one night. We'll do like just one layer challenge. Just like one layer. So there's certain areas like I don't need paint there, because I know when I come on top of it that it's going to be a darker value or whatnot. I'm just trying to make it easier on myself for when I transition this area. So I want that like full color in, because this is one of the areas I'll be like fully rendering. So I want that to be solid. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and paint my orange. Oh, hello. I see a wild Patricia. Or Gartery here in the chat. Sorry about that. Also, hello, Phoenix Wright. Not sure if you're in the board. If you are, you're more than welcome to paint. So please do join us. No worries. No worries. I think everyone feels a little bit that way at first. But you're more than welcome to join the canvas. There's also a second and third canvas if somebody wants to be, you know, privately painting on their own. I promise I won't go in those. Yeah, you can absolutely join. I believe the board link. Can we post the board link in the YouTube chat? Is there? Hold on. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the colors are super fun. Yeah, I saw this. I was hunting for refs for this, right? And I'm really picky. And I saw this. And my heart was just like, yes. Yes, yes, do it. Because it's just so good. I don't know. It's striking. There's a lot of contrast. And part of me just, I don't know. I just love color. Color is one of my favorite things. Anytime I paint, you'll see me exaggerate the colors. And that's why I'm really excited to get to that part of the painting. We're not there quite yet, but we will get there. And it will be so fun. Okay, so I'm trying to find this color right here. It's warmer. It's more saturated for sure. No, that's too light. So let's go darker. I think that's pretty okay. There we go. Yeah, so Gardy, I started this painting with a fully purple canvas. So when I did the testing for this image, because I was, you know, I was wanting to make sure that I gave good information, I did the testing with a blue canvas, and I love that. I love the blue, but I got on this canvas today and I was feeling a little adventurous. So there's purple on the canvas. Yeah, it's super fun. So underpaintings can be a great way to inject some really fun like color that shows through and will influence your decisions. It kind of just, have you ever put like a color next to another color and then it looks different? It looks like a different color. Like, I think they have those online. They're like popular where it's like an optical illusion. Like this thing looks gray, but it looks light next to this other thing. This is kind of like the same thing where you're conditioning your eye to see colors in a different way just by putting that color there. Sorry. So one thing in the exploration of trying to get this value correct, I feel like I've dulled down a lot of the color. So I will actually be coming right back in with some full saturation orange shortly. But you're getting there. You're getting there with this piece. I just want to get some of these shadows in. So what I'm doing right now, I am actually color picking on my image and blending a little bit. Now there is this hard edge right here that I want to go get. Darker value right up until there. And there's a lot of nuances here that we'll explore as we go through. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going in here and trying to be accurate with my strokes. I'm watching my values at the same time. Like my goal isn't necessarily to build up the color on the canvas. My goal is to just nail what is there. I used to paint where I would like slowly build up some of the color. And I'm coming around to just putting the value down. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. How many until we run out of space? I'm not sure. I mean, you guys can keep going, or people can join the canvas. Like I'd be more than happy to fill up this whole board. That would be awesome. Oh, you guys are so great. Let me go around and look at everyone's stuff, because this is amazing. I mean, look at this. Wait, is that a dragon? Are you involving dragons? Are you the dragon guy? I remember last week there was this guy that incorporates dragons in everything. Love this. This is so cool. Nice. Well, that's coming along too. I love seeing people get the impression of this like almost immediately. Oh wow, that's so cool. Nice. Hey, it's coming along. Like, I love how much care and time is being put into this. You guys are awesome. All right, let's keep going. We got this. Oh, here, I think Phoenix finally showed up into the chat. Cool. Hello. Yeah, feel very welcome. Go ahead and settle yourself into the canvas. Okay, we're gonna go with some lighter colors now. Grab this. It is quite an orangey white, yeah. I'm not going to go too light yet. I want to preserve those super, super bright lights until the end. The reason being, a lot of the times when I go like full bright, I tend to go a little bit overboard. And I want to make sure that I reserve that like peak white for the specific areas that I want to make sure are very crisp. It's really funny sometimes because I reserve the white and then I forget to put it in, and I'm but we will try not to forget it. So I'm looking past the detail of the honeycomb on that lid. I'm not putting it in yet. Because there's a gradient. There's like it's copper. It kind of looks gold. I'm going to paint it as if it is gold. I'm sure that's not gold, but you know. I love painting metal. Painting metal is super fun. If you haven't done it, so it's very specific. You have to paint the values correctly. And it's got like a different range of warm yellows. I'm looking at that. It's desaturated compared to the honey that's in the jar. So yes. Well, Phoenix, you're very welcome to like come and try the still life. It'll be a good challenge for you. Okay, so now I'm looking for that transition color for that gold. I will sometimes, so this is what I just tried to do, I will sometimes go check it by just painting. Yeah, I'm looking for like this little transition color. And that's exactly what I chose. So good. Oh, hold on, let me choose the correct layer. I'm just dropping that in there. And I note that the same color is over here on the edge. So let me try and judge my proportions correctly. And get that little reflection dropped in. I've got it on my paintbrush, I may as well, you know? I'm seeing that a lighter version of this color is in some of the reflections. I'm actually gonna create another layer and clip it again and work on that for a bit. The reason I put it on a different layer is these are reflections I'm working on. I'm unsure whether or not I want to hide this purple. So by keeping that on a different layer, if I so choose to like paint underneath it, I can. I'm gonna name it A Puppy is Happy every time you name a layer. Absolutely. Oh, bye, Patricia. See ya. Thank you for showing up. Okay. Cool stuff. You're doing good. Wow. So I just want to grab like a super saturated orange. Back down into my color layer. I just want to inject some areas with more vibrancy and give it some nice, just some really nice pop. No, that's not the right value, and it's shifting red, so let's put that in. I like the way it's shifting right there on the edge. Yeah, also, I bounce around a lot. The reason for that is I will just look at the image as a whole, and then I'll look over my reference, and then whatever first thing hits my mind to change and make better, I'm just gonna go and do that. It's almost this rhythm. If you observe enough artists, like when they start bouncing around all over the canvas, it's like a dance. So I also play piano, and some of my friends will attest to this, having seen me play piano. I'll play and I'll be swaying as I'm playing, right? And there's like this invisible rhythm that you have that you get into, and it's your own thing. Like no one else has that rhythm. And I think that happens on the canvas with artists. I think they just start kind of bouncing around all over the image, and it's beautiful to see. Like I love watching other people do their art. It's really fun. I want that edge to be nice and crisp. Hold on. Yeah, so we're gonna go in with that dark color, and actually I want to darken this area down a little bit. I'm looking beyond the reflections. I'm trying to see what is there so that when I put my reflections in, it just kind of lands. You know, we may not preserve a lot of this purple, and that's okay. But where it does shine through, it'll be really cool. Like, that'll be really fun. Okay, so now I want to darken this area. I want to be subtle about it, so I'm going to lower my opacity. to 30 on my brush. Just gonna work at this area. Yes, you're all doing your little dances on the canvas. I love that. That's what's awesome about painting together on Magma. Like, we all have our own little thing that we do. That's super fun. Like, we get to do it together. I am currently exaggerating color. So I skewed it way red. And then I darkened it to the value that is there. One of the things that's important when you're gonna exaggerate color, make sure you have the right value. But I want that because I'm looking at it and through the reflection, I'm seeing like reddish tones. So I want that to come through. I want to work on this gradient that's over here. Might be getting a little lost in detail here, so I'm gonna move along. The jar's pretty roughed in, so I know there's reflections, but we're gonna move on. I'm gonna try to get these little tangerine slices good. So actually gonna use some of the jar colors because they just work really well, and I want the image to have good color harmony. So even if I'm not like exact with the colors on these slices, I want the image as a whole to harmonize. So I'm not looking to be a photocopy machine. I'm looking to make an illustration, right? That's just my personal style. Like I want to be using, I guess you would call that a limited palette. But for me, it's just, it just makes the image work better if I'm using some of the colors I've already put down. So I tend to do that. Oh my goodness. I better hurry. We're already almost done. My goodness. As I said, this will be 2 sessions, so rest assured we will definitely finish this next time. And so I will be locking the canvas when we're done here, because I want to make sure that whatever you've done today is completely safe and that everything is ready for next go. So that will be in about 2 weeks. And it'll be super fun. We get to like go into the specifics of texture. So I'll go through with every one of these and we'll talk about like what kind of textures. If you're almost done, you can always you can always do like some imaginary work on yours. You could refine details. You could work on textures because we are going to be talking about the ones that are in this image. It's up to you. Okay, so right now what I'm doing, I'm not going to approach the flower as like structuring out every petal. So I'm looking to get like the general where the lights and the darks are in the image here, and just separate them out and try to add the transition values so that when I come back in and I'm looking to do detail work down the line, that it's already kind of ready for me and I can just color pick. It's a lot easier in that way. A little bit of a darker value in here. Darken it down. Grab this red and put that in here a little bit, just to kind of indicate from myself that I want some of that in there. Also want it over here and in here. And we're gonna grab this brown. Just come on in and indicate that shadow. Now that's not dark enough, so let's grab a darker brown. Do any of you still like get an orange at Christmas? I don't know if that's a thing for everyone. It kind of is for me. Like I always just eat an orange on Christmas Day. A pumpkin? You eat a pumpkin on... That's different. Huh. I don't know. Different parts of the world, they have different like customs and traditions, and you never know. Want to grab this right here. I feel like this orange, it has like hyper yellow reflections in here. Like, whew. I almost want to grab like a cool, let's do it. Let's grab like a cool, almost green yellow. I feel like pushing that yellow. Yeah, that tracks. Look at that. Fun. That's fun. Look at how it, hold on, let me zoom in there. Look at how it vibrates with the purple on the edge. Isn't that nice? I love when that happens. You just start doing something and all of a sudden it just turns into something that looks really nice. Happy accidents are fun. Nice. Okay. So right now I'm just dropping in interesting colors for myself. Essentially, I'm just nope, wrong value. Note as I'm doing this, I'm keeping in mind the value. If you drop in a color that's the wrong value, you'll know immediately because it just won't work. I am looking at my ref for like indications of if this will work or not. You don't want to, you know, get too crazy. Ooh, that color would be nice. Like right here in front instead of this orange that we have. Do you know how it's like all orange? You can do like red and like magenta tones all around here, and it can bounce up into this glass. Yeah, Phoenix, some of these guys, like, okay, I invited some of these people from LBX. Some of these people are my wonderful students. So I've been teaching them and they're amazing. I can't take any of the credit. They are so good. They work so hard and I'm so proud. So just know that. You're doing really good too. Nice. I'm looking around. Oh, wow, some of you guys, it's so fast too. Like, I'm still nuts about how fast this came together. Like, you just busted that out. Nice. I like to see the different things that people focus on. It's interesting to see because if you look at people's art, you'll find where their passion is. You'll find like which piece of the process makes them happy because that's the thing that will be like the most worked on. This is cool. I love to see like everyone working with all these colors. I'm seeing see, I want this overlap. That's here. So here, let me work a little bit on that. I don't think we need the sketch in there anymore, so we're gonna turn that layer off. I'm gonna go over with a new layer. I'm just gonna go on top of everything that I did. And this is when, at this part of the process, this is when I would call my sketch done. From here, what it is just refining, detailing, texturing, right? So we can get more into this next week, or in 2 weeks, sorry. I am not able to paint. What is happening? I am going to refresh. Hold on a moment. Ah, I see what happened. Yep, and there's all my scribbling. Love that. Love that for me. Okay, so we're gonna erase all that scribbling because there will be no undoing. That's all right. All right. Anybody else hungry after this? I sadly don't have any marmalade or oranges. But that's all right. I'll live. Well, I'm glad it's not just me. I was wondering. Okay, so I want to tackle... I want to tackle getting this to be a little bit redder and a little bit darker. Yes. Okay, so here we go. We're going to add some non-existent colors to this piece. My goal is, hey, I want to make sure I respect the values. As long as I do that, it's going to be okay. So I'm going in, I'm just making strokes. I'm trying to harmonize the piece. I do actually still have to come on in here. So I'm going to grab this orange. I'm going to bring it all the way down because even though it's a reflection, yeah, it needs grounding, right? So you need to kind of put it in, give it like something to adhere to, if that makes any sense. Now I'm being careful not to like wipe away all of the hard work that I did, like mapping out where things should go. See, like that line was a bad line because it covered some of my proportions. So. Right, so now I can come on in with like this color. And just I can just paint on top and I don't have to be super precise. I don't, you know, I can be really loose about this because all the stuff underneath, it's like laid down, right? So here's where I'm having fun. I'm able to like put down interesting strokes. And you'll notice a lot of this image is still very soft. Like there's so many soft edges everywhere. But we're gonna come in here on our second session, and that's the point when we zoom in, right? That's the time when we can like go in here and we define everything, and we do like the hexagon pattern, and we do the little flower petals and the slices and the orange peel and all of that. So. I don't want to get into all of that right this very minute. I want to focus on like the overall shapes that I'm seeing. I actually hold off quite a while for any kind of detail. And it can be frustrating sometimes, but I find it works better for me because when I finally get to those really satisfying bits, it's like a reward for having worked hard, you know? Now we are almost done here, but let me look around one last time because you guys are doing so good. Goodness, look at this. The improvement. Oh my goodness. Good job. This is nice too. Wow, you guys. This is awesome. If you guys have any questions for me, if you're like unsure about a certain bit of the piece, like let me know. We can go over it. And yeah, definitely if you see me around on Discord and you want to ask me a question about this still life before we get to it next, feel free to. I'm more than happy to go over it a little bit. This is awesome. I think one of the satisfying things I can do to this image right now, before we leave, because I know we're running a little late, but I can put my uber darks. You know how earlier I said I keep my super lights, I reserve them. I also keep my super darks. I'm just gonna put a little bit of it in. And it's super fast. And on this image, what it does is it basically does a vignette. I want to preserve some of this like blue that's like coming in. Just to kind of make it look painterly. I really like that painterly feel. Oh, did your painting disappear? Try to refresh the window. If you still can't see your painting, I will help you out. It's the old tale of, have you tried turning it off and back on again? See that difference? Like, let me... Oof. Oof, oof. So nice. Big difference. Just so fun. You would be correct. Your painting disappeared. See what I can do about that. Oh, someone's layer is between yours. Better? Was that better? Sorry, I'm not sure if I fixed it. Yay! Okay, good. Good, good. You're welcome. Yeah, definitely when the layers shift and stuff. That it's a thing, because when we're working on any different type of software, you're just on your own, right? But with this, you're with so many other people, and with, you know, that can cause a little bit of chaos, but it's all right. Hold on. Can I draw with something else, or I need to just do something else? Oh, you're good. If you're done, then you did a good job, so you can just rest for now. I think we're pretty much done here. Because I believe this was 90 minutes and we're running a little 10 minutes over, but it's all right. We're gonna finish up here for the day. But we will be back to finish all of the little textures, and I'll talk about the different things in this reference that can be quite tricky, and run through that with you guys. All right.
Guys, this is looking too good. I've been here in the background just watching and doing a bunch of other things, but you guys just like cruise through this stuff so fast.
I know, they're so good. Like they just immediately went through. It's amazing.
And who
I'm so
did
impressed by everybody.
Yeah, who did the goblin hand hold this lamp?
Yeah, it's the same person who did this one down here. I believe his name is Andy.
Nice, sounds spectacular.
No, wait, who did which one? You guys need to point out.
There we go, Andy. Yeah,
Andy. Okay, good. That's cool.
And I said lamp, but I'm thinking lamp because this like incredible glow is coming off the glass that I've been staring at. It almost, I don't know. I keep thinking like fireflies in a jar.
True.
But true. Yeah, anyway.
Nice. Well, we're done for the week. Like there has been so much progress. I'm so impressed with everybody, and I'm definitely ready to continue on in 2 weeks and just get this nice and polished. I'm going to be talking about like how to finish the illustration, how to do the textures that are there on the reference, how to get those looking really nice, and how to add some additional colors, because one of the things I was asked this week is to show like how it is that I come up with all the colors that I do on my paintings. So we will continue to do that.
Well, I would say to close, you have such an incredible way of describing just the feeling behind it and the stuff that's kind of hard to put into words at times. And such a great lesson here. And looking forward to it. Yeah, we got you up in 2 weeks. This will be up in Discord. We don't have the second one up. We'll have it up there soon. It'll be up there by tomorrow for sure. But thank you, Anya.
Sounds good. Thank you. This was super fun.
Yes. Well, tune in next time. Thanks everybody for joining us from Magma Classroom, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
All right.